The Municipal Demarcation Board is currently seized with the demarcation exercise across the country ahead of next year's crucial municipal elections. The CEO of the MDB has outlined the demarcation process and the implications it has for citizens.
A ward is split if it is above the norm. So if, for an example, in the previous elections, that ward had about 10,000 people, and suddenly in 5 years it increased to 20,000. The norm says we can only increase a ward by 15%, which should have been 11,500, or decrease it to 8,500. But if it's at 20,000, we are obligated to split it. So I then explain to people, or that's what my officials explain to people, that as they make presentations and submissions to those meetings, they must then indicate what are the implications of the splitting. Is the split going to be in contravention with the Constitution? Like, for an example, we then start segregating people, we disintegrate communities and everything, so that those motivations also form part of the attachments which will be going to the board.
The board has received thousands of applications for the redetermination of municipal wards. 13 cases have since been deferred and are currently subjected to further research and public engagement. Moroka summarized the process for objections.
Members of society and stakeholders will have 14 days to provide objections. And then after that, it will go to the board for decision making. Our deadline to the IEC is two-pronged. It's the 31st of October for all the ward delimitations that we are doing where there are no deferred cases. Now, Natasha, you will recall, we had 13 deferred cases. For an example, you remember the Fendersberg and Tokwe issue, the Kwakwa one, the Mangaung one. What's going to happen? Those will be considered by the board, but the ward delimitation process, the IEC allowed us to have what we call a phase 2. So the second report to the IEC on the 13 areas will be provided on or before January of 2026.
Upon receiving a report from the MDB, the Electoral Commission will then undertake a process of informing the voters and re-registering affected voters in various wards.
On receipt of the ward boundaries from the Municipal Demarcation Board, the Commission will in turn undertake an assessment to ensure that the boundaries of its network of voting districts are aligned to the wards. In instances where, as a result of the demarcation of wards, voting districts no longer accord to the wards, the Electoral Commission will undertake projects to communicate and re-register the affected voters to ensure that they are registered in wards of ordinary residents.
Moroka is given assurances that the delimitation process is a free and transparent one where all stakeholders are involved, including political parties. Natasha Phiri, SABC News, Johannesburg.